Alright guys, welcome to another episode of me going over Medium. I like to read through my Medium. Well, I used to have a Medium subscription, but then I thought like I'm not really using this, so I cancelled. So I only paid like for 1 month of subscription. So I'm back to, as you can see at the top there, I can only read 2 more stories this month. I can only have 3 stories. So I think that's good enough for me. Too much of this medium, it's just, this is too much mainstream, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so this is my next story that I'm going to be analyzing. So women who stayed single, no kids in their 70s, how are they doing? Question mark. And it's listed under feminism, so you know what this article is going to be about. Let's just see how many claps they get. Okay, so it has 5,000 claps. Alright, so it says 5,000 women who like to lie to themselves, who like to clap. Clap while their heart is crying. They're clapping. They're like, yes, I'm right. But inside, their heart's like, no, I want love. Like, what are you doing to me? I want to feel love. Why are you being so prideful? Anyway, so let's read through the article. So they say, they are the women of the quadruple whammy, and they are doing great. Are they? Are they doing great? Why you have to convince me they're doing great? That's the that's the part that's suspicious, you know? Like the thing is they always have to like yell how happy they are. Like someone happy and content doesn't need to tell other people. Anyway, so if you're a woman, you have no kids, you've been single all your life, and you are in your 70s, well, mythologically speaking, you have 4 strikes against you. Men, people with kids, people who are married or have married, and young people are more often celebrated, respected, valued, and privileged. I wouldn't say they're celebrated. I would just say that's like the natural heart's desire to have those things, to have a husband and kids. Some people would even call you names designed to evoke pity, such as elder orphans. Alright, I don't know what. So friends. So what is life like for people in the quadruple whammy category? Women who are in their mid-70s have never married or had children. Do you think they are isolated and alone, poorly educated, and just plain poor? Blah blah blah. That's a stereotype. Now, thanks to this study of more than 10,000 Australian women, of course Australia, I've been in Australia, many unhappy feminists in that country, many unhappy women in that country. That is just an island of just, they're just animals there, you know? Like if you go into Australia, you think you've landed in a David Attenborough documentary. You know, if you go to the nightclub, it's so animalistic. It's just, ugh. Oh, so many bad memories in Australia. Anyway, the study compared 5 groups of women in their 70s. Lifelong singles with no children, married with no children, married with children, married with no children, blah blah blah. Education. Anyway, she goes on to say, she goes to analyze what the researchers have found, which have favored her study. There's more likely than other women to say they could manage easily on their own income. Okay, so they have income. So, yeah, and physical health. We're less likely to be smokers. We're less likely to be non-drinkers. Had the healthiest body mass index. Had the fewest number of diagnoses of major illnesses. How do you even measure that? How do you even measure someone that has of major illness? You don't know this lady. She could go home to her. She could go home. Uh, Women in general, bodily pains, number of symptoms, blah blah blah, only physical functioning. Okay, so let's say she has less physical pain than a mother, but her heart has pain because she never found love. I don't know. I'm trying to think of arguments against this woman. But you know, their heart's dead. You can't speak to them because their They don't listen to their heart. Their heart's dead. That's why they haven't found God. Because they're so wrapped up in their pride, in their mind, of their narcissistic life, that their heart's dead. They can't understand the happiness, the true happiness. Giving and taking. The lifelong single were more likely to have their own private health insurance. Oh yeah, that's great. Were more likely to provide volunteer services. Great. Were more likely to use formal services such as meal deliveries and home. Okay. Were not likely to be cared for by family members. You know what too? Like, there's way more women that are mothers than single women. So, you know, this study's kind of skewed in the fact that there would be so much more married women with husbands than 70-year-old feminist single women, you know? Like, of course there's going to be a range of, like, because there's so much data. Of course there's going to be women with cancer, women with all these other diseases, compared to the small amount of data from the single women. So this woman's, again, they're just retarded. You can't hate, you should hate them. They're so prideful. They need to make, because they deny their heart so much. It's important to tell others and themselves that they're right. Because what happens is, these women, they're lying to themselves. And they're so full of bullshit that they have to convince you of their bullshit in order to feel better about their own bullshit. So if they convince you, they feel like it's more true, even though their heart knows it's lies. What they're saying, this is all lie. This woman's lying to herself. She's a liar, and she's trying to convince you of her lies, so she feels that it's true. So another article from Medium, from a feminist who is just desperately lost. Look at this woman, Bella. She's lost. Look at her haircut. She's so lost. She needs to find God and get herself out of the chaos that she's put herself in. Terrible. Anyway, God help her, really. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.